Participants have joined us so far, and I think we have been joined. Yes, sir has joined us. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Masroor sir, assalamu alaikum. नमस्कार वीरेंद्र जी।
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
जी सर खैरियत से सर आप?
जी हाँ ठीक
है। So participants, sir, we have around 200 participants. So because the first lesson got late, so sir, can you give us 1 minute, sir?
Yes, please.
Sir. After 50 strength, we will start our program, sir. It's 27 right now. It will increase very soon. Okay, sir. Virendra ji, you are enjoying. Not. Yeah. Okay, enjoy.
तरबूज खा लो सर, सभी तरबूज खा लो सर।
आप एंजॉय करिए, खाएंगे एक दिन आएंगे जब।
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. So before starting, there is a page. One can answer in yes or no, writing just question number and answering in Y or N.
Sir,
you can answer in Y or N.
Sir, just give me a minute to introduce you, sir. Okay.
Introduce
sir,
in a very short.
Okay,
no
sir, I will.
Okay,
sir.
Introduction.
Okay, sir.
I will introduce myself also.
Okay, sir.
So
just sir, in 1 minute only.
Okay.
1 or 2.
Okay.
Participants, sir, part 1.9 about participants, they are very interactive and they are enjoying. You can see one of the participants enjoying the watermelon also. So there are also they know the etiquettes of online teaching learning, sir, and they are opening their mics as and when you will ask them. Otherwise, they are on mute mode. And participants, we have with us a very senior teacher from Aligarh Muslim University, Professor Masroor Alam Khan sir, Muhammad Masroor Alam Khan sir, who is currently working as the professor in the civil engineering department of Aligarh Muslim University. He did his BSc, MSc, MPhil, and PhD in geology from Aligarh Muslim University. Sir has qualified JRF in 1990. Joined the department in 1996. So he is having the experience of more than 3 decades. Sir has edited books on disaster management, advances in geotechnical engineering. Sir has contributed chapters for EPG Pathshalas for UGC's project. Sir has written 9 chapters on engineering geology. Sir has published a good number of papers in very reputed journals. Sir has also presented papers in various seminars and conferences. He is regularly invited for FDPs, refresher courses, orientation programs, and MMTTP programs. Sir has supervised around 20 dissertations, MTech dissertations, and also supervised PhDs. Sir has completed various research projects of around 1 crore rupees. Sir has been has shouldered many administrative positions, like he has worked as Joint Director, Center for Promotion of Science, Nodal Officer, NIRF for Engineering College, Member Grievance Cell Engineering College, Provost of Nadeem Tareen Hall, and many other responsibilities. Sir is an expert on the field on which we have invited him. Sir, we are very thankful to you that you have given us time. Always for teaching learning, you are always for there. You are very dedicated and committed teacher, sir. Thank you very much for coming. And sir, all is yours, sir. You can start your session, sir. So I hope I have not taken much time today.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Shakir Saab. Almost 39 participants are there. Now let me start. Let's not waste time. Let's start. As Dr. Shakir has introduced me, teaching of civil engineering, but my subject area is geology. Geology is part of earth science, and as you know that the earth is the only home for humankind. So we have studied the earth system since its inception, or since its origin, or since its beginning. My research areas were in Jaisalmer and Jodhpur. I have worked on rocks of Jaisalmer and Jodhpur. My research area is actually sedimentology. But after joining lectureship in 1996, I was asked to teach a subject called as engineering geology, which is taught to civil engineers and mining engineers. Now you must be knowing that civil engineering is all about construction. Civil engineering is all about construction, but I tell them when I start my very first class that civil engineering starts with destruction. The very first step of civil engineering starts with the destruction. So the human beings who are living on the earth, they are enjoying different bounties given by the earth system to us. But in getting those bounties and in using those bounties, we actually what you call create injuries to our earth system. Now, to start with, I have put some questions. The topic which has been given to me is a slightly big topic. There are many issues, there are many things. For example, climate change, pollution, waste management, and biodiversity. All these topics can be taken up individually in this time of 1.5 hours. But I have to put all these issues in 1.5 hours, and we have to have some discussions in the meantime. Now, what is important is that this word climate change has become a buzzword nowadays. Every now and then we hear this word climate change. If you are glued to television, if you are glued to newspapers, you keep on reading, you keep on listening on the issue of climate change and pollution and waste management and biodiversity. So you see, we as a teacher, we are the first learner. Teachers are the first learners. I have not seen the whole list of the participants. The participants are from many different fields, many different subject areas. And everybody has not much deep thinking or much deep studies on issues of climate change, pollution, waste management, etc. Even I don't claim to have a very deep knowledge on all these issues. But yes, because of my subject area and because of my profession, I have been into this issues of climate change, pollution, waste management, and biodiversity. That's why I am here to speak with you. So I have put some questions. I just want that if you can answer them in the message, just by writing question number and YRN. For example, do you believe in issue of climate change? The answer 1 and then YRN up to you. So most of the answers are in the form of Y and N, that is yes and no. So if you can answer, then it will be good for me to analyze that what is the overall idea which you have about these issues. Only question number 5, you have to give some ratings in order of preference, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever you think that is the biggest problem to you or around you. So these are the questions. Now I am proceeding to the main slides. Now, what is climate change? You people are from many different parts of the country, but the parts where we are living, that is North India, we are reeling under temperatures almost 46, 47 degrees centigrade, which is unprecedented for us. We have not been subjected to this much of high, what you call temperature. So nowadays we are being subjected to very high temperature, and this high temperature is being ascribed to what you call climate change. Now the climate change is real? Is it a news or just a hoax? Now, if you can see the 2 newspaper cuttings which I have collected from the newspaper Times of India in 26/7/23, Europe was suffering from heat wave. America was suffering from heat wave, as we are being subjected to present heat wave. Now, previously, the sunshine, when Europeans, they used to get a sunshine, they used to be very happy because they were subjected to very cold temperatures, and the cold temperatures were very difficult to deal with. So the warm or the heat or the sunlight, that was a renoir for the for the Europeans, and they used to make paintings for sunshines. But today the time has changed so much that today we are cursing this heat. So in 1978, the National Academy of Science indicated that the temperature is rising. In 2007, United Nations International Protocol for Climate Change, IPCC, has accepted this, that yes, the global warming is there, the temperature is rising year by year by some fraction of degrees. And the most important thing which was found out, it was that the cause of this heat is anthropogenic. Anthropogenic means the cause of the heat is because of human action. It is because of human action rather than natural. Now, even if this is the bone of contention, here lies the what you call acceptance and non-acceptance of global warming. Some scientists say that global warming is there, and some say it is not there. But even if there is no global warming, human component has affected our overall temperature regime. And how it has affected? It has affected by putting lot of greenhouse gases. The Earth is the only planet where we have life. Why we have life on this planet? Because of two very important things, or three very important things. One is its distance from the sun. The distance from the sun is so that we have maximum of plus 60 and minimum of minus 60 degrees centigrade temperature. Number two, the gravitational force which we have with the Earth, that is 9.81 meter per second square. This gravitational force has been able to hold an atmosphere in which we have oxygen and water. And the third thing, that we have life on this planet because we have water in all the three forms, that is solid, liquid and vapor. Now the water being present in all the three forms, solid, liquid and vapor, is because of the maximum and minimum temperature regime which we have on the Earth, that is plus 60 degree and minus 60 degrees centigrade. There is no life on any other planet. There is no oxygen on any other planet which we can use to survive. And also we don't have any water on any planet. You must be hearing that scientists have found out some shows of water on Moon and Mars, but they are only the shows, and we can refute very easily those shows. So as of now, the Earth is the only heaven as far as the planet Earth is concerned. Now, the planet Earth is made up of different spheres. It is made up of different spheres, which I call geospheres, big spheres. And these big spheres, they interact with each other and create an environment for us in which we are living. So, for example, we have atmosphere, we have built sphere, we have atmosphere, we have biosphere, we have hydrosphere, we have lithosphere, we have asthenosphere, and we have barysphere. Atmosphere, all you know that we have all gases, including oxygen, which we breathe. Biosphere is the sphere which is having life, that is vegetation, animal and human beings. Hydrosphere, all the waters. Lithosphere, the top 200 kilometer of the earth is called as lithosphere. Litho means rock. So rock and soil, the top 200 kilometer is called as lithosphere. Then we have asthenosphere, which is a layer of 800 kilometer below lithosphere. That is, now if you add lithosphere and asthenosphere, that is 1000. The remaining that is 5671 kilometer is called barysphere. You must be knowing that Earth has been divided into crust, mantle, and core. So crust and little part of mantle is lithosphere, a bigger part of mantle is asthenosphere, and remaining part of mantle and core is clubbed together called as barysphere. Now we have added one more sphere. We have added one more sphere that is called as built sphere or technosphere, or you can call it anthrosphere. Built sphere or technosphere, or you can call it anthrosphere. While creating anthrosphere and built sphere or technosphere, we have taken material from atmosphere, we have taken material from biosphere, we have taken material from lithosphere, we are subjected by some kind of activity, for example, volcanism and earthquake, by interaction in asthenosphere, and we have a huge envelope of magnetism. We have a huge envelope of magnetism, which is the creation of barysphere. So we are actually using all these spheres, and while using this, we have polluted them. We have harmed them like anything. For example, hydrosphere and atmosphere, which is providing the two essential fluids, that is oxygen and water for life, they have been changed to global garbage bin. We have polluted it like anything. So, climate change. Now, the climate change is not that change which we see every year as a seasonal change. We pass our summers through rainy seasons to winters, and then winters to spring, and then again summer. That is not the climate change. That is the change of the season, which is because of Earth's rotation around the sun. So, Donald Trump, who used to say that I believe in climate changes 4 times a year, spring, summer, fall, and winter. But actually, he acted against those scientists and those researchers which were doing research for proving that global warming is taking place, and this global warming is because of human activity. Now, everybody is being affected by this global warming. Roger Federer, when he lost a match to Wilkinson, he blamed to John Millman. He blamed that it was too hot to play. It was too hot to play. Similarly, in Australia, the temperature has gone to 49 degrees centigrade, so much high that people have started making omelette in the sunshine. So the temperature rise is there. In America, again, in 2019, in Australia, the temperature was to plus 40 degrees centigrade in many areas, and they have started feeling the global warming. While at the same time, we had very low temperatures in United States of America, which has gone to minus 40 degrees centigrade. The places in America, there were places where the temperature has gone to extremely cold. So much that the jeans pant can be put in vertical position without a man or women into it. If you can see this picture, the jeans pant are being standing because of being frozen. So not only global warming, sometimes global cooling is also there. And the most important effect of this global warming is extreme climate. Extreme heating, extreme rain, and extreme cooling in some part of the world. The two pictures which you can see, the first top picture is the California forest fire, and the lowermost is the Hawaii forest fire, which took place last year. So I am giving you my presentation with lot of news items which are coming on day-to-day basis. I want to connect you with what is happening as far as climate change and pollution and waste disposal and what you call biodiversity, which is being dealt in day-to-day fashion. So there are a lot of discussion and controversies about climate change, especially the global warming, because if there is a global cooling, people will not make that much of hue and cry as compared to global warming. So global warming becomes more catchy as far as news is concerned and as far as feeling is concerned. Scientists propose, refute, and renew their findings with time as scientific inquiry progresses. Greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide, which is only 0.039%. Just imagine that the carbon dioxide, which is being blamed for most of the issues of climate change, is only 0.039%. So just imagine the increase in this 0.039% will have a very sound effect on the weather system. Satellites are being used nowadays to monitor the overall temperatures. We call it direct measurement of temperature. Previously, it was simply thermometer kept at different labs, kept at different meteorological stations, kept at different houses. You can get the data of overall maximum, minimum temperature of the day, of the week, of the month, of the year. But today, the satellites which are floating into our space, they have been put with instruments which are recording direct temperatures of all the globe, and they are giving a lot of data on the basis of which we can make our judgment. Now, apart from different global warming phases, we had got global cooling phases also. For example, from 1880 to 1910, temperatures from 1935 to 1975 was increasing at a very slow rate, but from 1975 to 2010 and 20, it has increased up to almost 1.5 degrees centigrade. There was a very short cooling period in 1998, which is called as, very hot weather system in 1998, which was because of El Nino effect. The same is being told by scientists that the present warming, which we have in India and different countries in southern Asia, it is because of El Nino. Then in 1993, there was cooling, and that cooling is called as Mount Pinatubo effect. Mount Pinatubo effect. So we have got lot of direct data and lot of indirect data, which we call proxy evidences, to say that the global warming is taking place or not. So if you can see this picture, if you can see this graph, the three big global warming episodes, which are from 1830 to 1880, then from 1890 to 1910, there is a lowering of the graph. Then again from 1910, it is increasing. Then there is a little increase in the temperature. And then again from 1975 to present day, there is an increase in temperature continuously. So this is the graph which is showing the result by scientists that when temperature has gone by how many degrees of temperature. Now the issue is that can we have this change in temperature because of natural factors or because of some anthropogenic factors or factors which are because of human beings, who are influencing the climate change. Whatever temperature which we have, it is because of solar insolation. The sun energy which is coming to Earth's surface as a shortwave radiation and then hits the Earth, comes on the Earth's surface and goes back. While going back, it is trapped by greenhouse gases which we have in our atmosphere. These greenhouse gases are water vapor, carbon dioxide, CH4, SO2, NO2. So they trap the heat. Why they trap the heat? Because when the solar energy hits the surface, when it goes back, it converts into long wave radiation, and the long wave radiation are not able to pass through the greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases, they actually trap the heat and they provide that heat to the earth. Now these greenhouse gases are important. It is not the case that if we don't have greenhouse gases, we will be enjoying the weather. The greenhouse gases, by trapping the heat, has raised the temperature up to average 15 to 20 degrees centigrade. The average temperature of the earth around 15 to 20 degrees centigrade would go down to minus 18 to 20 degrees centigrade if you remove all the greenhouse gases which we have in our atmosphere. So greenhouse gases, they are important, but their further increase in their volume, in their quantity, is going to create problem for the earth. And what we are doing, we are releasing carbon dioxide, we are releasing sulfur dioxide, we are releasing methane, we are releasing nitrogen oxide by different vehicular and industrial emissions. And all these gases, they are getting trapped and increasing the overall volume of greenhouse gases, so the overall temperatures. For example, Venus has 97% of carbon dioxide in its atmosphere, and their temperature is 480 degrees centigrade. Just imagine, 480 degree centigrade. So this is a picture which shows that how solar insolation comes, how it goes back into atmosphere, how it is being trapped by carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, hydrogen oxide, and CH4, and giving us the heat and warmth. Now just imagine that if the Earth, which is rotating on its axis, which is bringing us day and night, it is rotating on a tilt, on a tilted axis, that is 22.1 degree. Our Earth is rotating on an axis which is tilted to 22.1 degree. Now, if this axis changes its inclination, if this axis changes its inclination, the solar insolation will also change across the latitude. The solar insolation will change across the latitude. Please put off your mic. Nerina Islam. Now, we had two tsunamis, very famous tsunamis of Indonesia in 2004, and then we had a tsunami in Japan 2011. Tsunami is caused by earthquakes in the ocean, which results into movement of huge amount of water in the form of huge waves, which travel at a speed of 400 to 700 kilometers per hour. So what happens that they churn the sea. They churn the sea, they create lot of turbulence in the sea, and that may have affected the Earth's rotational axis inclination, and it has changed to 22.1 degree to 21.5 degree. That means 0.4 degree of inclination has been added. Now this 4 degree inclination may have some effect on temperature regime across the latitudes. So this could be a natural factor. Then what happens that sometimes we have solar activity. The solar surface becomes highly active. When the solar surface becomes highly active and the conversion of hydrogen to helium and then helium to hydrogen becomes very high, the overall surface temperature of sun rises. When the surface temperature of sun rises, the sun heat which is coming to all other earth planets, including Earth, will also increase. So sometimes the solar activity may also be the cause of global warming. For example, if you can see this picture, in this picture, this shows the solar spot activity. This is called sun spots activity. And this picture which I am showing you is of 2018, but the previous picture which I have shown you was of 2022. So solar storms and solar activity keep on taking place. This may also affect the overall temperature. Then greenhouse gas production. The greenhouse gases which we have on our Earth, that has come from the interior of the Earth through the volcanism. In the past, a lot of volcanism has taken place, and this volcanism has brought out different gases from our Earth. So all our atmosphere is made because of what is called as mantle degassing due to volcanism. So if we increase the volcanic activity, then greenhouse gases will also increase. But in last few million years, the event of volcanism has reduced all over the world, except few places where volcanism has increased. But overall, if you see the global pattern, overall the volcanism has decreased. So these greenhouse gases, they can be naturally added also. Not only it can be added by human beings, but also by natural process. But it is highly unlikely because volcanism has ceased or volcanism has come down very sharply all over the world. We are left with only Indonesia and Italy and part of Hawaii Island and Reykjavik Island where volcanism are taking place. Another issue is ocean. We have 3 parts ocean, 1 part land. The oceans, they absorb carbon dioxide. The oceans, they absorb carbon dioxide. That's why they are called as sink of carbon dioxide. Oceans absorb carbon dioxide and they convert carbon dioxide with calcium into calcium carbonate, and they form a rock called as limestone. Different animals and different organisms, they make their shells of calcium carbonate. So that is a process by which ocean absorbs carbon dioxide. But with time, the absorbance of carbon dioxide has increased so much that ocean has become acidic. Ocean has become acidic because of other pollutants also which are coming from the earth. The ocean has become acidic, and once it has become acidic, the carbon dioxide dissolution or absorbance has reduced. So with increasing carbon dioxide concentration, it has been found, if you can see the graph, that ocean heating has also increased. If you can see the graph, that ocean heating is increasing with increase in carbon dioxide concentration. Now, why we fear global warming? The most important cause of global warming, that is greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide, will result into increase in temperature, which will in turn result into melting of ice. It will result into melting of ice. And when the melting of ice takes place, the sea level will increase. And if the sea level increases, then all coastal areas will be subjected to sea wave erosion as well as sea water submergence. Many countries, many islands which are only 2 to 3 meters above the mean sea level, they will be drowned underwater. Why? Because of sea level rise. Now the sea level rise can take place because of melting of glaciers. But apart from melting of glacier, which is the biggest fear for us, it can also increase simply by heating. Just try to concentrate on this point, that sea level will increase not only by ice melting but also because of simple warming. When you warm water into utensil on your stove or gas, the volume of water increases just because of heating. So if you see the lowermost part of the left picture, the dark blue part is heating, is increasing the sea level only because of thermal expansion. That is from surface to 2000 meters of the sea from the top. The maximum increase is because of thermal expansion. Then thermal expansion below 2000 meter, that is light blue. Then melting from Greenland, melt from Antarctica, then land water storage. All land water through rivers will come into the sea because of ice melting in the hills and mountains and will increase the sea level. And the increase in the sea level has direct effect on the coastal erosion. If you can see the right side picture, I have taken in 2013 perhaps, where the coastal erosion is being tackled by putting concrete tetrapods and concrete blocks. Concrete tetrapod or by concrete blocks. Now, this you must have seen in Bombay also, very common scene near Chowpatty. Now, what is happening? You see, we are trying to protect the coastal erosion. We are trying to protect the coastal erosion by putting concrete tetra blocks and concrete what you call boxes. In construction of these material, lot of carbon dioxide must have been generated. So ultimately, we have been caught in a vicious cycle that we are generating carbon dioxide for making those things which are going to protect the effect of increase in the carbon dioxide. Now, can you see this video? What is this? Can anybody answer? Can anybody answer that? What is happening here? What I want to show? Can anyone answer? What this video shows?
So it's basically showing
Can
the
anyone
movement in the land masses.
Land mass, and this is known as
That's a tough one. Sir.
continental
Is it called
drift.
Pangea?
Yes, Pangea
Pangea,
and yes, very good. Breaking of Pangea and then movement of continents into different places. This is a theory given by Alfred Wegener in 1895, 1913, for example, and it is known as continental drift theory. Now, this theory has been refined and changed to plate tectonic theory. The theory of plate tectonics. Now see, if this is happening or if this has happened, then the countries will move across different climatic belts. The countries which were in the cold climate will go to the warm climate. Now this picture, which is of almost 10 to 15-second video, this is actually representing 65 million years of time. In past 65 million years, this has happened. The thing is that this is happening even today. All our plates, all our continents, all our land mass and ocean also, they are shifting their place by the rate of 5 to 10 centimeter per year. Hence, they must be crossing the different latitudes, and overall temperature regime is governed by the latitudes in which we are in. So this plate tectonics theory, which is almost 60-year-old or 50-year-old, has proved that all continents are moving with different rates. If you can see the right side picture and you can read, the rates of all the movement of plates have been recorded using the satellite and GPS. Using the satellite and GPS. So whatever latitude and longitude which we are living in, जो हम किसी डिस्ट्रिक्ट का लैटिट्यूड और लॉन्गिट्यूड बताते हैं, वो अब सेम एक्चुअली है नहीं. It has changed in last 200 years or so, because our latitude longitudes have been made in last 200 years. Now in 200 years, every continent has shifted its position, and Australia has started rewriting their longitude and latitude, and this is creating the problem in driverless car, because driverless car is moving as per the latitudes given to it through GPS, but the latitudes have not remained correct. So that's why it hits the right or left side. Now, what is the rate? Rate is 5 to 10 centimeter per year. If you can see this picture, the rate of growth of nail is the rate of movement of these plates. So we can't see nails growing every day, but after a week we are able to observe. So to prove this, I have shown that in 2017 I have voted. After voting, how this ink has progressed in almost this many months, that is 4 months, you can see. And there is a small joke. A teacher asked a student, why you are not remembering your geography lessons? The student gives answer that I have left learning geography because geography is changing. People are saying that geography is changing. उस्ताद कहते हैं, आलम तुम आजकल ज्योग्राफिया क्यों नहीं याद कर रहे हैं? आलम जो स्टूडेंट है वो कह रहा है, जनाब मैंने ज्योग्राफिया याद करना छोड़ दिया है क्योंकि अब्बा जान कहते हैं कि करीब में दुनिया का नक्शा बदल जाएगा. So we have lots of direct evidences. Apart from that, we also have indirect evidences of temperature change with respect to some past time. For example, in the captains of the ship, farmers, travelers, they have written the temperatures in their diaries, because at that time the global connection was not so fast that we can share the data so easily as we are doing today. People had data, but later on, when scientists have started collating and comparing these data, they have found that they have got very old data from farmers, from ship captains, from travelers' diaries, etc. And they have used these temperatures to compare the present temperatures for the same month, same time. So this is a proxy data, indirect data. For example, we have this huge rock block, if you can see. This huge rock block is called as erratic. This rock, which is present at a lake side or at a seaside, has no similar rock around. The similar rocks are only 30 to 40 kilometers away from this place. So the question is how this rock has come here. How this rock has come here. The answer is that this huge block of rock can be brought to this place only by glaciers. That means the glacier must have been present up to this place in some past, that is 1 lakh year or 2 lakh year. 2 lakh years back, we had a glaciation, worldwide glaciation, that is called as Pleistocene glaciation. That is called as Pleistocene glaciation. And on this Pleistocene glaciation, we have very beautiful movies called as Ice Ages. So all of you must try to see the film Ice Ages. Ice Age. Perhaps we have 4 or 5 volumes. Ice Age is a movie you see that is depicting what was our Earth system some 2 million years back, means 20 lakh years back. So this is an indirect evidence that we have erratic anywhere. That means the ice was present here. Now there is no ice left, but the rock it has brought was left over. See the left picture. They have taken a picture of a mountain on the same month from 1912 to 1970, 2000 and 2006. What is happening? The ice has been reduced. That is indirect evidence of global warming. If you can see the right picture, here again you have a huge erratic. This is my picture I have taken at Sonmar, where I have found this huge rock block, which is not connected with the rocks which we have as in the surrounding area. The similar rock may have been present some tens of kilometers away, but they have been brought here by glaciers. If you can see in the background, the valley is U-shaped. Any U-shaped valley is an indication that it had glaciers. A river makes V-shaped valley, while a glacier makes U-shaped valley. So the presence of these erratics, they indicate that there was ice. Similarly, we have another indirect evidence which has come from the study of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen isotopes of rocks which are hanging in the caves. They are called as stalactite and stalagmite. Stalactites are those rocks which are hanging from the roof of the caves, and stalagmites are those rocks which are growing from the floor towards the roof. This formed due to the precipitation of calcium carbonate from drop of waters. So drop by drop waters falls and calcium carbonate gets precipitated, and this results into formation of stalactite and stalagmite, which we find normally in the caves. Now, the study of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen isotopes have suggested that the overall temperature from 1500 to 2000 has increased. From 1500 to 2000, it is showing an increasing trend. Then the evidence have come from ice cores. Ice cores. The scientists have drilled cores into ice sheet which are present at Greenland, which are present at North Pole, which are present in South Pole in Antarctica. They have made drill holes through the ice. They have taken out ice cores, and in this ice cores they have found lot of bubbles, and in those bubbles they have got the gases which was present at the time of formation of that ice. They have dated the ice, they have analyzed the chemistry of the gases, and they have said that what has changed from then to present. From then to present. Now they have got data of almost 1 lakh years of carbon dioxide and methane into the atmosphere. So this is again an indirect evidence. From the study of oxygen and hydrogen isotopes of the ice, it has been found that overall global temperature has remained from 1600 to 1850 the same, and then from 1850 there is a rise and rise with some small dips, that is somewhere in 1975 and almost around 1900. Are you able to follow this graph? Are you able to follow this graph?
Yes.
Okay. So Another evidence has come from study of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen of tree rings. You must have heard of a method of dating trees that is called as dendrochronology. Dendrochronology. Dendro word is used for trees. So if you can see in this stem, which has been cut for a cross section, light and dark colored linings. The dark colored linings represent winters, and the light colored linings, they represent summers. If you can count all the dark and light lines, divide by 2, you can get the age of this tree. So from this, they not only worked out the age of the tree, but they have also worked out carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen isotope ratios from the center of the tree to the margin. And they have worked out that the composition has changed. The composition of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen isotopes have changed with time. And this data suggests that there was a global warming all through the years, but there was a little ice age from 1800 to 1825. So if you club all the data from last 800 years to present, 0. From 800 to present, 0. Of CH4 and CO2. We talk a lot about CO2, but less about CH4. But CH4 is equally detrimental as far as global warming or climate change is concerned. Now, if you can see that both CO2 and CH4, they are increasing and decreasing, increasing and decreasing with time, and they have remained a straight line up to last 50 years or so. But in last 50 years, it has increased almost vertically. It has increased almost vertically. So if we club all the data, if we club all the data from direct evidences, from indirect evidences, from instrumental data, from non-instrumental data, this will be the graph with overall variation. And if you see the last part, around 2000, there is a sudden rise. There is a sudden rise. This research paper was published by McKittrick from Canada in 2003, and this paper is famous as a hockey stick paper. Hockey stick paper, because just like a hockey stick, the temperature has gone up from almost 0 to 1 degree as compared to sometimes in the past, say, 1,000 years or so. So this is all about the global warming. Now the crux is that who has increased this temperature? Is it nature? Is it natural? Or is it artificially done by human beings? So ये सूरज की साजिश नहीं है, खुद जमीन सेक रहे हैं हम. This is not because of the sun, the warming which we are seeing, rather it is because of we the human beings. Now, why should we fear climate change? Why should we fear climate change? There are some very obvious reasons, and there are some less obvious reasons. The obvious reasons are global warming, melting of ice, more runoff, loss of sweet water, increased desertification, more humidity, severe weather, sea level rise, and increase in agriculture produce. See, this is the only positive thing, that we have increase in agriculture produce. Why? Because of increase in carbon dioxide. The botany people, the agriculture people, the farming people, they make greenhouses of glass, nowadays of plastic, to increase the carbon dioxide level and slightly increase the temperature so the plants can grow well. So of course, this global warming will lead to more agriculture produce or more vegetational produce. But because of extreme weather, because of extreme climate, these increase in agriculture produce may be subjected to loss because of excessive rain or because of excessive heat. Less obvious reasons, local to regional migrations of human beings, increase in certain disease. You must remember what diseases have increased. Thermohaline conveyor means जो sea currents होते हैं, they will change their movement. And once they will change their movement, they will bring El Nino and La Nina issues. Change in agriculture pattern, crop failure, animal migration, ecological imbalances, and crop loss. So we keep on seeing in the news that extreme weather and extreme climate keep on hitting us. May it be United States of America in 2019, maybe the JB cyclone in Japan in 2018, maybe in Shanghai or China, where people have to come out of their flats and multi-story buildings outside because their ACs have stopped working. He turns Shanghai streets into giant slumber party. The ACs have stopped working. They cannot work. Nowadays, our vehicles, for example, in our cars, if you put on your AC while going 2 or 3 kilometers, it will not be able to cool your interior of the car. So not only all over the world, in India we have seen that what has happened last year when in Himachal Pradesh and in Uttarakhand and in Maharashtra, we had lot of flash floods and lot of landslides. So not only all over the world, we are also being subjected to this issue of global warming. Now, if you can see this picture, this is a very latest picture I am showing you. From where? Dubai. What has happened? They have hit by such kind of flood at least thrice. And this is the major event on 17 April. What has happened? They have what you call lost their very beautiful system. So एक नूह ही नहीं जो हमें कश्ती में बिठा ले. This is a biblical flooding. What is a biblical flooding? Biblical flooding. बाइबल कुरान में तूफान नूह का जिक्र होता है कि नूह के दौर में एक ऐसा तूफान आया था, ये सब डूब गया था. एक नूह ही नहीं जो हमें किश्ती में बिठा ले, वरना आसार तो मौजूद हैं तूफान के सारे. Only Noah is not present who can ask us to come into his boat, because rest all over we have storm and flooding. So this has happened in just few weeks back. Now what is happening in Uttarakhand? What is happening in Uttarakhand? The forest fire. We are not able to douse it. Till now, it is closing and closing to the residential areas. Why? Because excessive heat and no rain. Excessive heat and no rain. So the climate change and the global warming, they have started affecting us like anything. Now, the question is that what can be done? What is being done? What is being shown to us that it is being done? So what we have international conferences all over the world. It was started somewhere in 1972 for the first time, and from 1972 till today, till this year, we have international climate conferences and international summits and what you call conference of parties, COPs. So I have listed them. Not all, but first 1972, and then after that many has happened. But from 1997, Kyoto Climate Conference. This is a famous Kyoto Protocol. So I have started from Kyoto Protocol, Kyoto, Hague, Marrakesh, New Delhi in 2002, Buenos Aires 2004, Montreal 2005, Bali 2007, Ponzan 2008, Copenhagen 2009, Cancun 2010, every year almost. UN Climate Conference 2011, Durban Climate Conference 2011, Qatar 2012, Warsaw 2013, COPs of parties of 195 countries 2014, Marrakesh Climate Conference 2016, and so on, 17, Nairobi, Paris, Incheon, Katowice, COP25, Chile, in Spain, then COP26 in Glasgow, 26 in Glasgow, 27 in Egypt, 27 in Egypt, the latest, that 27th, after that 28th has also completed. Tell the truth. These head of the states, they are coming together, they are discussing, but what is the result? Tell the truth. In global warming, COP stands for Conference of Parties, or Conference of Parties ke alawa, you can call it, actually stands for Control or Perish. What is happening? We are behaving like ostrich. We are behaving like ostrich. The time is not left. We'll all be converted into desert. But what we are doing, we are coming up with the reports with lot of documents, with lot of what you call gobbledygook, with mumbo jumbo terminology. Dishonesty and falsehood are the reasons why 3 decades of climate negotiations have achieved little, deafening noises and muted outcomes. Lot of talks do take place, lot of discussion take place, lot of newspaper items, lot of news, television debate, but no result has yet come. Latest it has happened in November, 30th November to 12th December in United Arab Emirates. Perhaps at that time they must have not thought of the flood which they have got just few weeks back. The conference was closed with an agreement that signals the beginning of the end of the fossil fuel era by laying the ground for a swift, just and equitable transition underpinned by deep emission cuts and scaled up finances. And the next is going to happen in 2024 in Baku, that is Azerbaijan. Roadmap to mission 1.5 degrees centigrade. The roadmap to mission 1.5 degrees centigrade. This 1.5 degrees centigrade is something very important. Critical decade. We are into a critical decade for keeping the temperature less than 1.5 degrees centigrade. The problem, how can we have a deep cut in the carbon dioxide emission? How can we have deep cut in carbon dioxide emission? The 2 most populous countries, that is China and India, they are saying that if we cut on CO2 emission, that means we are going to check our industrial production and our overall development. So we are not going to cut CO2 emission before 2030. After 2030 or 35, we will think that should we go for the cut or not? Should we go for the cut or not? India would commit to net zero by 2050. China hurries to burn more coal despite climate risk. Power crisis complicates climate fight in Europe. So a lot of issues. The present problem is that we have to check the global warming and we have to keep it below 1.5 degree because if it goes to 2 degree, that is half degree more, then there will be lot of losses. There will be lot of losses. So here if you can see the comparison that how many percentage of insects and plants and vertebrates will lose, they will get extinct if the temperature rises to 1.5 degrees centigrade, and how many if you have 2 degrees centigrade of temperature. If you have 2 degrees centigrade of temperature. how much of coral reefs will remain if the temperature goes to 1.5 degree, and how much if it goes to 2 degrees centigrade. What will be the sea level rise if the temperature remains below 1.5 degrees centigrade, or how much will be the global rise in the sea level if the temperature goes to 2 degrees centigrade. What will happen to the crops? What will happen to the ice which we have at Arctic and Antarctic? What will be the condition of extreme heat if the temperature is not checked up to 1.5 degrees centigrade? And what will be the availability of water which we use for our survival? So these are the issues of climate change. Now, the problem is that for what should we be worried? For climate change or for pollution? Which is the bigger issue? Human-induced environmental disorders, that is climate change, or earth pollution and degradation? Which is the bigger issue? Which is the bigger issue? What happens if climate change takes place? Our living condition will become very miserable. But what is happening because of our pollution and environmental disorders? What we have created an envelope of pollutants around us, it is resulting into death of 100 people every 30 minutes with different new diseases. For example, Zika, Ebola, dengue, cancer, flu, diabetes, and finally the coronavirus. You must have heard that in Singapore, again, there is a surge of COVID. These diseases are attacking with much more lethality on human beings whose immune system is already compromised by adulteration and lack of physical activity. Polluted drinking water and atmosphere with no means of controls are taking toll on human life. Global burden of disease says that 130 people have died every 1 lakh people in India because of population in 2015. So the pollution, see what is happening around NCR, Delhi, capital region, NCR. See the level of pollution. Death by breath. We are dying by taking breath of polluted atmosphere. When CNG has come, the pollution was kept. A check was kept when the CNG came. Overall pollution has gone down, but later on, again it has gone up. What could be the reason? 7 years ago, everyone saw Delhi there take a deadly U-turn, but no one did a thing. Why this is happening? Why sudden rise after a small dip? The reason is more and more vehicles. The loan has given vehicles to each and everybody, and that is creating problem. The biggest problem what we have, the diabetes. You just forget about COVID, which has killed lakhs of people, but the slow death is being put to each and every Indian in India, that is global capital of diabetes, is diabetes. Out of 10 selling drugs in 2016, out of 10 top selling drugs, 5 were of diabetes. Why we have become capital of diabetes? Why it has so? What could be the reason? What has made every other people diabetic? What could be the reason? Think and try to give answer. So we have put lot of stresses on our system by population growth, by waste generation and the problem of improper disposal, indiscriminate resource exploitation. We have increased our energy demand, and that's why carbon footprint and infrastructure development is going in a very fast way. But how it is affecting us? It is affecting us by food production and distribution, problem of food production and distribution, air, land and water pollution, land degradation, climate change, ecosystem, and loss of biodiversity. The stresses which are being put on the system has got some strain onto our system. Cause and effect. Stresses are the cause, strains are the effect. Population growth, food production and distribution will be affected. Waste generation and disposal, air, land, and water pollution will take place. Indiscriminate resource exploitation, land degradation will take place. Energy demand and carbon footprint will affect the climate. Infrastructure development will affect our ecosystem and loss of biodiversity. So, some very big problem. Waste reduction and disposal. What to do with the waste which we are creating? Whatever we do leaves behind some kind of waste. How can we reduce? How can we reuse? How can we recycle at home? Not outside. Don't think that some industry will reduce, some industry will come to reuse, some industry will come to recycle. We have to do it ourselves, in our home, in our office, in our community, in our society. We have to dispose the garbage properly and well segregated. Biodegradable, separate, non-biodegradable, separate, which we are not doing. Hazardous waste, liquid, solid, gaseous are dangerous or potentially harmful to human health and environment. Reduction, management, disposal of municipal solid waste and non-hazard industrial waste. These are the big problems which we are having. Government of India has started Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. It has put 60,000 crore of rupees, and it has promised in 2014 that after 5 years, by 2019, we will have a clean India. Now, I don't know how many of you will agree and how many of you will not agree with what has been thought of and promised. Who should be blamed for this? Government? No. The problem is that our society, we are not actually supporting the system. We are not supporting the system. We are trying to keep our house clean and we try to throw the garbage outside without giving any thought. So, despite the fact that we had this big mission, but we have not been able to get the result which we were thought to get. The problem of open defecation, another issue which government has taken very seriously. But things have remained on newspaper, things have remained on the data book. It has not come down in reality. India was having almost 48% of its population going for open defecation, as compared to 15% Afghanistan, 8% Congo, 3% Burundi, and 3% Bangladesh. Lack of toilets have resulted into malnutrition of its populace, especially in the villages. In the villages, we have lesser number of toilets. Government has supported them, but still people have not understood the issue. People have not understood the issue. They have got the toilet made, but they are still not using, or they have got it made in a very improper way. You see, the success of toilets, is directly linked with the water, the flushing system. If you don't have water, if you don't have flushing system, then the type of toilets the government is proposing is not going to give us the success. So we need as many toilets as we need food. That is the most important thing which I want to convey. Waste disposal, where to put our waste? Where to put our solid waste? If you can see the black and white picture which I have taken from a newspaper, the Ghazipur landfill site in Delhi, it has failed and has resulted into sliding of waste which took one car and two motorcycle and slided them into a nala, resulting into death of two people. And you can see the Ghazipur landfill sites. Now this landfill site was closed. When that accident has taken place, the landfill site was closed. And government was not able to find a new site. They have identified a village called as Rani Khera for dumping the waste of Delhi. The Rani Khera people have objected that they will not allow. So ultimately, government had to come back to the Ghazipur landfill site to put the waste. We have at least 3 landfill sites in Delhi. One is very famous, that is Bhalsawa landfill sites. All these landfill sites, they are overflowing with the waste. They need to be closed. They need to be capped. The landfill sites, they need to be capped so that no more waste is being thrown there. In India, we have more than 5,000 landfill sites which are needing closure. But we are not being able to close because of want of the new space. So we have pollution all around. May it be Bangalore, may it be Bombay, may it be Delhi, may it be any metropolitan cities. If you see this statistics which came in 2017, this shows that how much increase in solid waste has taken place in 15 years from 2000 to 2015. So if you can see the Delhi, it has risen to 1,750 times. Just imagine, 1,750 times the waste generation has increased. Sorry, 2,075%. Sorry, Delhi. Bangalore 1,750. Now, if you can see, the minimum waste increase has been found in Calcutta. Why it is so? That is another metropolitan city. All big cities are there: Bengaluru, Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Chennai, Calcutta. Why we have more waste generation in Delhi and Bengaluru? Perhaps more population, maybe, but Calcutta is also an overpopulous metropolitan city. What could be the reason? Just think of. What could be the reason? To keep Delhi clean, Selampur, a locality in Delhi, has to be dirty. This is a statement given by Ravish. सीलमपुर को गंदा रहना होगा अगर दिल्ली को साफ रखना है. सेम थिंग, अगर गाजियाबाद को साफ रखना है तो मेरठ को गंदा रहना पड़ेगा. The problem is of waste disposal is so severe that we are not finding space for putting the waste. We are taking the waste to tens of kilometers away and we are putting them. Are we a filthy nation? Despite Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, what has happened? We have not been able to clean up our mess. Are we a filthy nation? We do not bother where our waste go out once it is out of our houses. Urban India generates 68.8 million tons of garbage. 6,000 tons plastic waste remains uncollected. And Juhi Chawla goes to Nepal and asks and raise the issue of pollution in Kathmandu, not in India. The two magazine cover, India Today, 1993 and 2014, they have covered a story. Can we clean our country? Can we clean the mess? And after 17 years, they had to come out again with a cover story with writing Dirty Nation. Can you identify this place? Anybody can identify this place?
Sir, this is Agra.
Taj Mahal. And what you can see in the foreground, in background you have Taj Mahal and in foreground, waste. So this is the problem. This is the issue. Now, I have shown you one slide in which I have told you that top 10 drugs sold in India have 5 of diabetes. What could be the reason? The reason may be the pollution, because pollution can reach anywhere. My village is in very remote district of Basti in UP, and within Basti it is 35 kilometers away from the Basti, and my farmer who is doing farming for us, he is diabetic. Why it has reached so far, so deep? Because of air pollution. This air pollution is doing something with our metabolism and creating problems. So air pollution has to be checked, not only by giving new scales, not only by putting what you call electronic machines, which will tell you at every chauraha that what is the pollution level. That is not going to serve the purpose. We have to act. We have to act. That is the issue. And how we have to act? People have come with air purifiers. People have come with big machines which can be put at big cities to clean the air, and we get business. So first create doom and then make boom. We have smoke towers at different cities in India, as they had in Dubai. So in India also we have started erecting smoke towers. But that is not going to solve the problem. The problem is that we should not throw the waste which is not harming us. We should reduce waste generation. How can we reduce generation? Garbage is a collector's item. Don't throw it. Only throw the biodegradable garbage every day, and that too in a proper way, so that it can be taken and it can be used for generating some methane gases for burning or as a fossil fuel. We need more legs. Mom, you need more legs, more feet, not more shoes. Not more shoes. Previously, we used to have one pair of shoes. Now we have tens of shoes for every suit. May it be male or may it be female. So we have to check on our spending. Another issue is of drinking water. From where to get clean water? It is very easy to give money and get the bottle. But one bottle of purified water wastes 3 times the volume it has. 1 liter pani generate karne mein 3 liters of water is getting wasted. So we have been caught up in a very dangerous issue of RO system. The water which we have, only 2.5% of water is sweet water or fresh water. The rest of the waters, they are saline. Out of 2.5% water, 68.6 is frozen, 30.1 is groundwater, and lakes, atmosphere and river, they have very less amount of water. You cannot use the lake water, you cannot use the river water because both are polluted. So we are relying very heavily on the groundwater. Groundwater, once taken out, has gone for always. So though we have lot of water in the oceans, but that is of no use to us. It can be used only by the coastal area people, that too after purifying it, which is again a energy demanding system. So we have to think when we spend water, we have to think twice or thrice. Normally in our universities, what we do, we water our lawns and grounds by just opening the tube well. By flooding method, we put on the tube well in the night, and the whole night tube well runs and takes out water and floods the lawn. And the morning the tube well operator will come and close the tube well. We are wasting a lot of water in our universities. Some of the universities or some of the ground have come up with this sprinkler, which is a better way of watering your lawns and grounds. But again, the picture which I have shown is of my athletic ground. This sprinkling was done a day before, a day before, a day when there was a rain. For example, if they didn't had sprinkled water, the next day there was a rain. So even if we are watering our lawns, let's check that if rain is in offing, then let's not waste the groundwater. So groundwater shortage is taking place, and that we see by declining water table. By declining water table. So these water bottles which we get very easily. Why are you buying water, mom? It is cheaper than our monthly water bill. Nowadays in our meetings, we are given small bottles and we use it and throw it. No proper disposal. And this water has a has a has a has a detrimental effect by cleaning system which it has, that is RO system, in which thrice the water is wasted. On this water bottle there is a tag, do not waste water even if you are at a running stream. This is a saying of Prophet Muhammad, that if you are standing along a river, then too you cannot afford to waste water. Biodiversity, another issue. Biodiversity is all kind of life which we have. All kind of life which we have. What we have done through time, that we have developed, or we have supported those lives which are of benefit to us, and we have discarded those lives which are not of benefit, direct benefit to us. But all kind of organism, they have some kind of role to play, that is called as ecology. We have to preserve biodiversity, we have to preserve ecology, but we are not able to do so because we need more agricultural land, so we cut forest. We need more road and railway track, so we cut forest. We need lot of wood for our construction industry, so we cut forest. When we cut forest, not only the vegetation is being lost, but also the life. There are billions of life forms which have not yet been classified, and they have got vanished because of extra human endeavors for developing infrastructure and housing and agriculture activity. So lots of life are getting extinct. Every day, every year, the life is getting extinct. So if we conserve biodiversity, we will actually conserve the ecology, and this ecology is going to help us in living on this planet. Now, if you can see this picture, this is our electronics engineering department. They have some trees. Can anybody identify this tree? Can anybody identify this tree? Can anybody identify this tree? I need an answer.
Sir, can you please repeat your question?
Ashoka. What is the full size of Ashoka? What is the full size of Ashoka? It's a huge tree. But what we are doing here, we are pruning the tree. We have just put a small amount of leaf. What is going to help us? Leaf or stem of the tree? What is going to help us? Leaves are the stem of the tree. Now, one picture, this is from my own electronics department. 2020, we had these trees. Now in 2022, 2 trees were lost. They dried up. They dried up. Another picture from my university. This is along the main university road. If you can see the 2 pictures and if you can make the difference. कोई मुझे difference अगर बता दे दोनों में. If anyone can tell me the difference in the 2 pictures. See, in the first top picture, all the leaves have been torn by pedestrians who were moving. All the leaves, they were torn. But when the lockdown came, when nobody was moving along the footpath, all the leaves, they got the proper shape. The two same picture of the same tree, just in a difference of 1 month or 15 days. See this. This is the COVID period. In COVID period, the footpath was taken over by the vegetation. The footpath was taken over by the vegetation. So if we allow the vegetation to do its work, to do its job, it will do. It will do. But we have to give them space. We have to give them space. It is very common to see in our universities that we prune the trees to different size and shapes. It is not needed. It is not needed. We should give the growth of a tree to its full extent. What would be the solution? Who will solve the problem? Where to see the solution? Within a society, within a region, within a country, between the countries, no solution has yet come. Individuals have started doing it. We have created different days to observe throughout the year to remind us that these are the important issues. We should think of these issues. We should observe these days not only on that particular day, but actually throughout the year. What can we do? What an individual can we do, or what we can do? Greta Thunberg, you must have heard her name. She has started processions every Friday in Sweden. Every Friday they went for a strike. When she was in 9th class at that time, so that people come and get aware of the issues which we have as far as climate change. So we have this name, Greta Thunberg, is a big name. She has protested even against the American president. The students, they have come out in big numbers and in large numbers. In India too, we have started the same thing. CSR साइंटिस्ट, अभी लेटेस्ट देखिए न्यूज है 8/5 की, CSIR साइंटिस्ट ने कहा है कि हम मंडे को बगैर आयरन किया हुआ कपड़ा पहनेंगे. We will wear a cloth which is without iron. That means we will save electricity. Similarly, one more scientist from IIT, he has requested all our country fellows that one day you should use unironed cloths. So there are many people who are trying to highlight the issues. US liar self-immolates to protest damage to the planet. David Buckle, he was a senator. He said that oil and petrol will burn the earth, and he put oil over him and put the matchstick and he died. He said in the same way the world will come to over. So there is a company of cloths. He has started giving all his profit to environmental cause. What can we do? Save trees, save paper. This is the slip which comes out of ATMs. Just we are printing but not following. Reform the city. Reform the city, save paper, ban homework. Yes, this I was saying, why this IIT professor wants everyone, even PM Modi, to wear wrinkled clothes. Wow, CSR scientists ring in wrinkled Mondays to fight climate change. So there are a lot of individual efforts. We have our own solar man. If you can see in the blue shirt, in our university, we have one of the biggest solar plant, ground-mounted solar plant. Not only on rooftops, we have biggest solar plant in our university. So just I am trying to finish. If you can see this picture, if you can identify what is this. we have forgotten the cycles. These are the cycles left over by the laborers who fled who fled Punjab and Haryana and Himachal Pradesh during COVID times. They came by cycle to Saharanpur. They have left their cycles and from there they went by train. Now this waste is there. Nobody is claiming. In Copenhagen, the population is 6 lakh and they have 6,50,000 cycles. Anybody can use any cycle and can go anywhere, can leave that cycle anywhere, take another cycle and come back to its destination. But we have forgotten. This is in my university. The wastewater is being treated through two different waste treatment plants. One is involving energy to treat water, and this one is without taking any energy by some biological process. And you can see the water in the two hands of this gentleman. This is my own system. I collect all the wastewater. And use it for irrigating plants, use it for flushing, use it for washing, and I use it for bathing also. So we have to collect this water and we have to start even from today. Now I am skipping some of the slides. Just I wanted to read one statement of Sarpalli Radhakrishnan Saab. We had 5 extinctions. If the global warming and pollution goes on, what will happen? Are we heading for the 6th extinction? The human being is nothing more than the latest of a long series of living creatures. Even if evolution of life does not proceed higher than the human species, science threatens us with the possibility of its extinction. There is no life on other planets because their scientists were more advanced. So are we going towards extinction? We had 5 extinctions in the past when 80% to 85% life has been lost. Are we heading for the 6th extinction? So there is a very good book which deals with the investigation that we are actually moving towards the 6th extinction, written by Elizabeth Colbert. Also, I have got one more book, that how to live in this time of climate change and global warming, how to survive. That means people have started thinking that the time which is coming is not good. Lot of us put plastic flowers in our houses. And that is of no use. And even Dennis says that his mother waters these plastic flowers also. So we have to see. This is Fortis Hospital. Delhi. What this picture is depicting? Can anybody tell me last 3 or 4 slides? What this picture is depicting? Can anybody explain me?
It's like lungs.
What they want to show?
They want to show a greener, like a lung which is a tree which is fully green, and the one which is basically lost its leaves because of climate or so. In order to breathe and have good lungs.
Very good. I have taken this picture in the month of February. Now the same hospital has put these plastic plants. Just see the paradox. The same hospital, Fortis Delhi. What's the use of this? अगर इसको ना भी रखा होता उन्होंने तो क्या प्रॉब्लम थी, और अगर रखना ही था तो रियल प्लांट रखते. See, smart city, Aligarh, so-called smart city. They have put plastic sheet or plastic grass on the wall, and they say that green Aligarh and clean Aligarh. The government agencies, they are putting plastic cover on the boundary wall. अगर नहीं रखते तो क्या प्रॉब्लम थी? और अगर कोई प्लास्टिक के पॉलिथीन यूज कर रहा है तो उसको वो अरेस्ट भी कर लेंगे और उसको फाइन भी कर देंगे। घर के गुलदानों में शाहिद फूल होंगे कागजी, बल्कि आप प्लास्टिक पढ़िए, घर के गुलदानों में शाहिद फूल होंगे प्लास्टिक के और पर्दों पर प्रिंटेड तितलियां रह जाएंगी। One of our alumnus who was secretary into Ministry of Environment and he was at MD Coal India Limited, he came here and he has given a lecture and he said that there is a proverb, जान है तो जहान है, लेकिन अब इसको चेंज कर दीजिए, जहान है तो जान है, जहान है तो जान है। So whatever I have spoken about climate change, about biodiversity, about diseases, all are linked with each other. And human survival is at stake. The problem has been created by human being himself. We have to see that what we can do to check this as an individual, as a member of a society, as a member of what you call a city system or a village system or so on. That's all. Thank you. This is a cartoon of 1881. Our founder, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, was lampooned in 1881 for being too fond of the nature. Naturey Jogi. They have called them Naturey Jogi. If you can see, thorny plants, snakes and whatnot. So he actually thought the same thing in 1881 in his days. Thank you. If you have any query, you can ask. Yes, DG Kalika, you can ask. You can put your question in message, your comment on the message you can put. Yes, DG Kalita and Palvi Gupta, you have raised your question, you can ask, yes, if you have any query.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can I say something, please?
Yes.
I have seen a lot of presentations and I also teach through presentations, but I'm honestly saying that this is the best presentation I've ever seen. प्लीज आप किसी के साथ शेयर मत करिए इसे, क्योंकि आपने इतनी मेहनत करी है इस प्रेजेंटेशन में। एक स्लाइड आपका कहाँ से निकाला हुआ है। मैंने इतनी अच्छी प्रेजेंटेशन सर आई हैव नेवर सीन। Please keep it with you, sir. Don't share it with anybody. It is an excellent.
I'll share with you all, and I will request you to follow the things and do the same thing at your end. You can do. I normally keep newspapers so that day-to-day issues will be highlighted.
Very well researched presentation. We really enjoyed it. It was excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Dipul Talukadar sir. Yes. Anyone else?
So, sir, it was a very nice presentation, and I would like to say that if we are eco-centric, then various environmental problem could be solved. And as we are more anthropocentric, which is creating all this climate change, pollution, and environmental degradation. So, मैं कहना चाहती हूँ कि शहर बसाकर आप सुकून के लिए गांव ढूंढते हैं। बड़े अजीब है ये लोग, हाथ में कुल्हाड़ी लेके छाव ढूंढते हैं। सो यही हो गया हमारा।
Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Nice comment. Actually, we have to actually start doing at our own level because government can't do anything. they cannot do everything, not anything, they can't do everything. For example, if some roads are getting, yes,
एंड इवन हम 5 जून अगले अपकमिंग 5 जून आ रहा है तो हम लोग पेड़ पौधा लगाएंगे कि लेकिन दूसरे नेक्स्ट साल में जो 5 जून आएगा हम लोग नहीं देखेंगे ये पेड़ पौधा जिंदा है या सिर्फ सेलिब्रेशन के लिए विल सेलिब्रेट 5 जून सो ऐसा ही जैसे आई वाज टीचिंग एनवायरमेंटल एथिक्स
yes,
and we have a IDC course. As a IDC we have adopted environmental ethics. तो मैं एनिमल एथिक्स पढ़ाती हूँ कोविड के समय से। अभी ऐसा हुआ कि जब भी कोई स्ट्रे एनिमल डॉग देखती हूँ मेरा अगर मतलब हाफ जूम बन गया। मेरे पास करीब 39 स्ट्रे एनिमल्स है तो अंदर से एक फीलिंग्स आ गया आफ्टर टीचिंग दैट एनवायरमेंटल एथिक्स टू माय स्टूडेंट्स। तो मतलब पढ़ाने के समय हम जो अपने इसको इस्तेमाल करना चाहिए दैट इज द मेन इश्यूज इन टू अडॉप्ट द इकोसेंट्रिक वर्ल्ड। तो पढ़ाते हैं
yes.
या कुछ भी कर लेते हैं लेकिन एडॉप्टेबिलिटी नहीं होता हमारे अंदर।
We have to adopt. That is the issue. अगर हम सिर्फ बात करेंगे, if we just talk and teach and do not implement, then the things will not. And in European countries, they are actually doing. In European countries, they are not only preaching, but they are performing and following also.
सो
But we
जैसा
need
मेरा
to-
को एनिमल एथिक्स पढ़ा के घर को मैंने जू बना दिया। मतलब
Very
इतना
good.
मैंने एनिमल्स को शेल्टर दिया। अभी मोर देन 40 एनिमल्स है मेरे पास।
Very
तो
good.
थैंक यू सर।
Thank you. Any more query or should I close now? Okay, thank you. If no other query, then I will close now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Very many thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.